Let me begin, and let me be clear. I did not interfere in the investigation around this tragedy. Specifically, I was not directed to publicly release information about weapons used by the perpetrator to help advance pending gun control legislation. Was there pressure for information from the federal government about this incident? Yes. This wasn't surprising as we were dealing with the biggest mass shooting incident in our country, and it was my responsibility to keep relevant officials apprised of the evolving situation while maintaining the integrity of the operation. Were the requests for information and updates political interference? No. And in my dealings with Minister Blair, he was very conscious of this and has never sought to interfere in this investigation. I was not upset. First of all, upset and anger is not part of my DNA. I'm a fairly calm police officer. I always spoke in terms of how I felt. I felt disappointed, and I felt frustrated with the flow of information over the past 10 days. And using the weapons as an example was one example of the lack of flow of information that was coming back and forth between the ground and national headquarters.
In that call, it was referenced earlier, you said that the team in Nova Scotia didn't understand that this was tied to pending gun control legislation. Did you say that in that meeting?
What I recall from is that when we were talking about why was somebody might have mentioned why the weapons were important, and I said it's not a surprise because part of the minister's mandate letter is in fact gun legislation. So that's how I was tying it. That's why that's why I inferred the question was being asked if in fact those weapons were going to be included, along with numerous other times that I was asked when information was going to be released, because often in a press conference the Prime Minister was asked something and he didn't have the information, so they'd come back and say, do we have that information? We're not ready to release that yet. Do you have this, so because they were asked these questions, we were just trying to get them the information that they could release.